All right, what's going on, boys? How you doing? Ginger, Ricky, Gurvinder, Optimus, Yash, Cordell, Andrew, Armand, Christian. Welcome, welcome. Finally we get some real selling today, guys. So let's just get into this here real quick. All the levels were broken. We finally saw some real selling in the markets. Lately, they've just been pinning stuff, a little settle, little morning action, 1 hour action, and then afterwards they just chop it all day and just crush premiums all day. But today, finally, some real steppers jumped in, and we're going to talk to you about a bear market. Like we've been telling you, I've been trying to warn you guys. I've been trimming all my longs, been adding SQQ, SOXS. The markets looked really bad. Usually near a top, the breadth gets really bad. The tricky part, by breadth, I mean there's very few stocks that are running up with the indexes. And there was such a clear example of that this time where SPY and QQQ kept going up. Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, well, not Amazon, leave that out, but Apple and crew carried the indexes up while growth stocks were getting absolutely annihilated, down 50%, down 70%. You guys see ARK, been in a bear market for like 6 months now. So usually when you see that kind of market breadth, I want you to write this down. When market breadth gets that bad, it's usually signals of a top or a top is coming. The tricky part about that is trying to time the top. When does it come? Sometimes the breadth lasts for 6 months straight and then we fall, right? So this time it was very choppy trading yesterday as well. We got a big move in the morning, big dump, and then just chop all day. Today was State of Thursday. No one expected a dump, so what did they do? They dumped it. Let's go over. Yeah, yeah, shit's okay, man. Like people learn their lessons different ways. It's all good. Cordell, I hope you made it. I think you made a lot of money. You earned a lot of puts with me, I think. Andrew Chow, we had a great day. I hope you had a great day. I don't know what you mean by tough one. As a trader, we have to trade up and down. We can't just be long bias. When the market is weak, we have to be able to take puts. If you guys cannot trade to the downside, either sit out completely, don't buy calls. Calls are the worst thing you can do in this environment. Why? Because when the market's going down, even if you catch a call right here, usually in a normal market, in a bull market, in an uptrend, if you catch a call here and you get this kind of move, you'll get like 150, 200% on those calls, right? On certain names, depending on the volatility of the name. But in this market, if you caught this call on a volatile name and it came up to here, you maybe get 30%, 25, 30%. Why? Because the VIX is elevated. When the VIX gets elevated, the market makers expect volatility. They add IV into your calls. Calls are way more expensive. So you're basically starting out already negative when you're taking calls in this kind of market. Yeah, I hit pretty good on those puts. Good job, Cordell. So let's go over the SPY. We went over a little bit more. So what I'm saying is, what I was telling you guys, I'm gonna go over in the pre-market. I sent this chart last night, guys. It was very head and shouldery. I had a range from 471 to 465. Yesterday, right in the last 5 minutes, they took it over 471 to trick the bulls. What did they do? They tricked the bulls. They closed it over 471 yesterday, and that was outside of my range here. But I posted it last night. It was very head and shoulderish. Big dump, big rejection of 471. We closed actually below 465. So now we are in a bearish trend. This is the top for now. This is a short-term top in my opinion. We will not get through this top for a while. Just if I'm right about my technical analysis, this is the short-term top for the market. We went down, we put in a low, we put in a higher low, and now we put in a lower high here. So this, what we did right here, is a lower high. Unless something crazy happens and we rebound and rip to all-time highs, some kind of news or Fed dovish or something. Right now, this is the top and this is a lower high. So now what we have to watch is if it comes down and takes out this low of 456. And I'm sorry, like if you guys are getting scared or whatever, but I have to say what I'm seeing, right? And right now, very, very bearish action all around the indices. You can look at any sector. It's very hard to find anything that's bullish right now other than yields and stuff. So SPY right now, we're looking for follow through on this head and shoulders. Follow through would confirm this would be the line right here, 456.60. So a lot of downside, guys. Make sure you're used to that put section instead of calls. So you can just adjust this neckline now here. We're right at the neckline. Might get a major little tiny bounce or something. Hold this together and then roll it over. And like I said, right now everything is bearish. Everything is downtrend and we have to play the downtrend. We have to stop getting scared of puts. If you can take calls on QQQ here, sell them for 100% here and roll them out for another 100% here and roll them out for another 100% here. Why can't you do the same thing on puts? So you buy puts here, 100% here, roll them out 100% there, roll them out 100%. Don't be afraid to trade puts. Trade them just like you would trade calls. Literally all you have to do is go to your trading view, hit option and I, it flips over the chart for you. And that would tell you exactly, if you caught this bottom here on calls, you would sell them, roll them, sell them, roll them, sell them, roll them. So if you ever have a problem holding on to puts, you can do that and just get rid of your long bias that way. Right now, QQQ, that weekly is very, very ugly. Let me get rid of these lines for you guys. There's a weekly channel we've been watching in QQQ for a long, long time. And right now we are in danger of closing below it. If we close this weekly candle tomorrow underneath the channel. What's up, Saab? What's up, J-Dub? J-Dub, great job today, guys. I'm sure everyone in my stock life is happy. Way to go, Philip. Proud of you, bro. Weekly channel going straight up here right now. Ugly, ugly candle. Lots of profit taking at the top here. And if we close underneath this channel tomorrow on QQQ, a lot of pain is ahead. A lot of pain. So what we'll most likely do if we close this weekly candle on QQQ under this channel, we'll probably go down a little bit further, bounce up, back test, and then dump more. But that's for weeks and weeks out. So right now it's very bearish. And if we do not cure some of the damage we did today in QQQ and close into this channel tomorrow, there's more pain ahead in my opinion. XLF here finally dumped at the end of the day. This thing's been going crazy. I've been telling you guys for 4 or 5 days now. It's way too far off the 8-day moving average. This is banks, guys. This is a ETF of banks. Why is it going parabolic? I know there's good news with the rates coming and everything. Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, guys. It just helps us help more people. Banks very, very parabolic here. It's been 9 days now above the 8-day, and whenever banks get this far off the 8-day, it always pulls back to the 8-day. When does it? Nobody knows. You see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 was the reversal, and 10th we came and tested the moving averages. And banks have a catalyst, which is earnings starting tomorrow. We'll hear from JP Morgan, Citibank, and Wells Fargo tomorrow morning, so they'll give us a little update on how banks are doing. IWM is a complete mess right now. As you guys see here, the shoulder, head, another shoulder, and now the neckline is about to break. IWM can go down and test this little line I have drawn here, which would put it around 207, 208. So IWM is a mess right now. Small caps are gross. If you guys look at AMC, this is a top holding of IWM, guys. You guys see this? It's just disgusting. And it's looking to break this low here. So under $20.80, it did close below there. So AMC can come down a lot more. I mean, their own chief financial officer is selling all his shares. So what does that tell you? If you're still holding this, I feel bad for you. There's no volume here. It's thin volume all the way down until 14 bucks, guys. So if you're still in, sorry, but you got to manage, man. Cut your losses quick. Don't hold on to these bags. A lot of people on Wall Street Bets will learn this. ES, same kind of pattern as SPY here, guys. Same head and shoulders is forming. I know I'm being very bearish. You guys seen the price action today. It might bounce a little bit, but right now we are in a bear market, in my opinion. Obviously, the indexes are not in a bear market, but just looking at almost every sector except for big tech, looks like a bear market to me. So right now, ES is sitting right on the neckline. Let's see if we get a little bounce tomorrow or if they just flush it straight through. If they flush it straight through, we got to stop at 45.89 and then 45.72 on ES. VIX absolutely flew today, ripping through all resistances. I draw these lines out for you guys every single day. We lost support yesterday, and then look what they did in one day. A 16% move on the VIX here. So right now, what did I say to you guys? We put in a low. We put in a lower high here. Now we put in a higher low. So this is dangerous now, guys. This is where it changes the trend. Remember back here, low, higher low, higher low, higher, lower high, higher high, and then the highest high. So right now we're looking for a big spike on VIX, which could come tomorrow. Pay attention. Last time we put in 2 higher lows, 3 higher lows, and then we ripped. This time we're already on our second one. So let's see what VIX does tomorrow. We have resistance at 21 and 22.12 on VIX. Keep an eye on that one. Bitcoin absolutely destroyed. I know a lot of people got all giddy on Bitcoin yesterday, but I posted this chart very clear. It's clear as day, guys. The teal line here is the 50-day. Dark blue line is the 200-day. The 50-day crossed the 200-day to the downside. This was a bounce off support here. We kind of chopped around. When we crossed, death crossed here, we came right back down to support here at 30K. So now the positive thing is they moved the support up to 40K. So what happened here? Came down, tested 40K just like we tested 30K here. Bounced a little bit. And now this death cross, the 50-day is at 48750 and the 200-day is at 483. So it's about 500 points away, which could happen either tomorrow or the day after. Bitcoin can do the death cross. We can dump right back down to 40K, chop around just like this for maybe 2 months even before we start getting going. So I was not too excited to buy this support. As you guys know, I know we ripped for 2 days, but I didn't care. I knew this death cross is coming. And now when the death cross happens and Bitcoin comes back down, I want to see how it hangs around support. If it holds support, I will buy some. If it doesn't hold support, I'm sitting it out. I'll wait till 35. 35 is the next support, and then 30 is that original support. Do I think it goes below 30? No. But if it goes below 40, it's definitely going to 35 at least, and then 30. So that's what I'm waiting for on Bitcoin, just being patient, sitting on the sideline. I don't need money in the market all the time. It's better to have your money on the sideline than your money red. Never, just remember that. It's pretty obvious. I mean, SQQQ, we have these calls. This went through a reverse split yesterday. So these calls you probably won't be able to add to, but you will be able to sell them, in my experience. And right now, we had a 8% up move on SQQQ. So if you look at those calls, Questrade was showing me, I think I'm up like 25-30% on them. I'll probably scale out some tomorrow if we have another big red day. I didn't scale out today because I do believe that QQQ will close underneath this weekly channel. And if it does close below this weekly channel, these SQQQs are going to go nuts. Last time we played them, we got 500%. We might get the same type of move if we close below that weekly channel. So that's all I'm waiting for on there. One thing that tricked me today was these yields. So yields we've been watching for a while. I've told you guys about the yields. When yields are up, growth and tech are really hard to go up. We broke out of this multi-month resistance here, and now we're back testing. But what I didn't realize today was, why were we so weak when yields are still down? Like, obviously it's a bullish pattern, it's a bull flag, everything's setting up. It's just testing previous resistance to go higher. But today itself, we were down almost 1% on the TNX. And almost 1% on the TNX we were down, but it's stopping right at the 8-day. So watch for a bounce on TNX tomorrow as well. I'm not sure why yields were down when tech was down. That means there is real selling maybe. I'm not too sure. I have to look into that. HD was my A+ trade setup from yesterday. Let's see this. Why is it an A+ trade setup? So looking at this, you guys are probably like, oh, maybe it's bottomed here. It might bounce right back, right? This is what I'm saying. So you go to option, you go I, you flip the chart over. Look how beautiful W bottom this is. It looks like a double bottom and bounce, right? Came back down, tested the 8-day. And now why wouldn't you take calls here? This is an A+ setup to the long side. So why wouldn't you take the A+ setup to the short side? So we have a double top. Came down to test the 50-day the first time. Second time it came down to test it, it broke right through. Big gap down. We went up. We filled the gap. 393 was the gap fill. 393.50-ish. Went up, filled the gap, and now right back down. And if you go on the shorter term time frames, we got the 2 hour here. Very, very clear bear flag here. 1 hour here. Very, very clear bear flag with a breakdown underneath. So right now on HD, I'm still holding some. I was very heavy in the position, but I lightened up a lot today. Why did I lighten up a lot? Just because, man, when these puts hit, it's you have to take profits. I told you guys, no matter how right you think you are, when these options hit, you take profits. Bear flag breakdown, and right now the only thing I see is this 381 support, $380.90 support, and if we break that, we can go and fill this gap all the way to 373, guys. So that's what I'm watching for on HD here. Still got some call. We still got some time on our puts. I'm not too worried about it. Adobe held up pretty well today. It didn't take out its lows when a lot of stocks took out the lows on this little redip here. So it held up pretty well. Right now, it looks like trash completely. Like I told you guys, in a downtrend, they usually sell it off hard, and then they bounce it to the 8-day, get in more sellers, sell it off hard, bounce it to the 8-day, get in more sellers. And now the next target for Adobe should be this low right here, which would be 497. So Adobe can go right back down to 497. I don't really see anything else in the way. It doesn't look bullish to me. It did hold better than most stocks, but 497 next on Adobe in my opinion. XOM, I called out these lottos. You would have already almost had 100% on them in like 20 minutes if you wanted them. Why did I call it out? This is an oil company. It's Exxon. Look at the weekly chart. Look at that big white line I have there. Very, very clear resistance for like a year. Since 2014, this resistance has been here. 2014. And every time we've gone up in there, gotten rejected. And look at this. In 2 weeks, we jumped almost 15% on an oil company into a huge resistance like that. You got the daily showing a reversal candle yesterday. You see that little doji there? We got so far off the 8-day moving average. This is the doji yesterday. Today, a little downside, and we took out yesterday's low. 8-day is so far away. You go to the 2-hour here. You got the MACD that was crossing over. You see this MACD crossed over right here. And now it looks like much more downside on XOM to come. Next week's puts should work as well. I have tomorrow lottos. Let's see where they go in the morning. Yeah, so XOM, I like for puts. SE is a growth company, got smacked. I told you guys, same thing. Oversold, bounces into the 8-day, and then right back down. It's a downtrend, guys. You have to play the downtrend. Right here is an arrow, smacked at the 8-day, smacked again at the 8-day, rejected, and it's the same story over and over again until it's not. And once they start closing over the 21 days, that's when you can start going long on these companies. But until then, there's no point in going long on these. Facebook, in my opinion, Facebook just kind of sideways. This is all chop. It's such a mess. Until we start taking out some of these resistances on Facebook, I won't even look at it for a long. Maybe around the lows here. If it ever comes back down to like 300, I might pick up some equity long term. But other than that, there's no real trade on Facebook here. Tesla was absolutely destroyed today. If you're thinking about going long on Tesla, I would wait. I have an alert down here at around 866, 865. That's where I would buy Tesla. Or even this low here, around 886-ish. If it gets down here, I'll probably buy some equity. But other than that, Tesla's in a void for me for a swing trade. You can scalp it. It's fun to scalp. It's very volatile. Lucid, I wanted puts for next week. I thought that it was stayed at Thursday. So I would wait till the end of the day. Lucid would go sideways here or just a little bit up. And I was going to take puts for next week because there's a lockup expiration next week on Lucid. And Saudis own a ton of stock in Lucid. And once they start selling, this one should go down. The market cap's not that big. It won't be able to absorb all that selling. So next week, I think January 19th is the lockup expiration on Lucid. And puts can still work here. There's 0 shares to short on IBKR, I think. I checked earlier. They wouldn't give me even 1 share to short. So that's something to keep an eye on. Puts will probably pay on this Lucid. If the market continues weak, we can go right back down here and test this low of 33.76. CVNA, we got these puts yesterday for 17. Everyone was like, oh, like this chart's already so beaten up. Why are you taking $17 puts on it, right, for March? But again, guys, like if you just flip this chart over, this is the most like, it just bull flags, flag or straight run up, bull flag, straight run up, bull flag. Why wouldn't I long this, right? It's just the same pattern over and over again. Bull flag up, bull flag, run. It's the exact same pattern. So upside down, what's the difference? Why wouldn't I take a bear flag? So right here, bear flag, we took 17. We took March puts on this one for 17. I sold them today for 20-ish. They went up to 27, 28, I think even 29 maybe. I think Yesh is holding them still. But this chart just looks like trash. I did my homework. The fundamentals look weak on this company. There was huge flow hitting for this company. It's the only one in its industry that's actually decreasing revenues year over year. So there's no buyers here, and it just keeps dumping. I think those puts can even go to 50 or 60. But I had to get rid of them because I was too heavy in this HD here. Anyways, great trade. We'll get back in if we need to. Sava was one I took equity in today. Why did I take equity? This chart's pretty ugly itself. What I took was not a chart play, though. As you guys know, I was looking into the company. There's only 3 companies that I know of that make Alzheimer's drugs. BIIB, LLY, and Sava. So BIIB got, they had a drug for Alzheimer's, actually, that got unapproved by the FDA. So they had to pull it off the market. And Sava was getting weird flow. Like people were selling puts far out, people were buying calls, and big money was coming in. So I was thinking maybe either Savas is going to get approved or Savas going to get bought out by them. And today the news came that BIIB is looking to acquire a company. So if they were going to acquire a company after their Alzheimer's drug gets approved, I would think most likely it's Sava. So it's completely a DJ. Like it can pay a lot, it can pay nothing. But I'm not gonna hold it that long. I'll give it like 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, I'll lose $1 or 2 a share. I mean, it's pretty beat up already. It shows like a little bottoming pattern. Plus that flow was real, guys. The flow that I seen, those are big boys. So let's see what happens with the Sava. Maybe they know something that I don't. Amazon, absolutely disgusting. If Amazon takes out today's lows, we're going to go right back to the lows, guys. It's the exact same pattern as always. We're in a downtrend on Amazon. Oversold, bounce to the moving averages, dump it again. Oversold, bounce to the moving averages, dump it again. Same thing over and over until it's not the same. So just wait for confirmation. I mean, so I'm going to show you guys. So this was a downtrend here, right? So we bounced to the moving averages, came down, bounced to the moving averages every day, came down. When did you know to get long? So it bounces, it closes over, it comes, and it sets a higher low. So that's what we're waiting for here. Either these stocks come back down and it takes out this low of 31.26. If it doesn't come this low, if it comes here and bounces for a day or two, like it did here, we're waiting for higher lows to form. So this is how it changed the trend. I'll just show you guys. This is the low here. This is a lower high. And then it set a higher low, higher high. And you could have gotten any one of these days and caught this uptrend. So you don't need to catch this bottom, guys. You need to catch any part of the meat of the move. You don't want to catch bottoms. You don't want to catch tops. So basically, if you waited for confirmation on Amazon, like that's the one I have set up, right? As soon as we crossed over the 200-day here at 33.14, you could have rode it all the way up. And then when we close under the 8-day, you could have got out. So that's what I mean. You just wait for confirmation for the uptrend. Don't try to be a hero. Don't catch bottoms or tops. We just want to catch the meat of the move. So that's all I really have for today. I mean, I hope you guys had a great day. I continue to be bearish. I am shorting every rip. I am not buying the dip. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.